What's up, sports bettors? Really quick video. I'm going to be running you through like 10, 11 picks that I ended up locking in. So let's just go ahead and let's dive into it, right? I'm going to be playing on the two most popular fantasy sports platforms, Prize Picks and Underdog Fantasy. And these platforms work in basically the exact same way. So oftentimes, what I find to be a really successful strategy is just looking for where Prize Picks and Underdog have the line set at different levels. So both of these platforms work, again, in almost identical ways with identical odds. So typically when there's a line discrepancy between Prize Picks and Underdog, it indicates that there's a pretty good bet, right? So what you're going to notice right here is Jalen Williams. His line on Prize Picks is 4 rebounds. His line on Underdog in all the sports books is 4.5 rebounds. Prize Picks is at 4. Underdog, all sports books are at 4.5. So Prize Picks is a clear market outlier, right? Versus every other real-time data point, every other price data point. We have dozens of sports books telling us where this line should be set, right? And sportsbook odds encompass everything. And by that I mean, sportsbook odds encompass, all available market information. So, for example, if there's injuries, anything like that, that's reflected in the odds, right? All of this is already reflected in the odds. So long story short, first play I ended up going with was right there. Jalen Williams over 4 rebounds from the screen. Prize Picks was too low, so we want to take the over. Prize Picks is at 4. All the books are at 4.5. Hammer the over. Then I have Tate over 4 rebounds. Plumlee under 11.5 points. John Tonji over 4.5 rebounds. Drew under 7.5 assists. So you may be like, okay, where's this Drew Holiday play from? Well, the main tools I use are the screen, and then on OddsJam I use the positive EV tool a lot. So what the positive EV tool does is it's a little different than the screen. It's a little less flexible, so I can actually open up the screen and kind of show you what I'm talking about. But what the positive EV tool does is for the sports books you have selected and whatever criteria, you can make your filters more custom. Some people only like to bet on certain leagues. I like money, and the same concepts apply to every sport, every league. So I keep basically everything selected and just select the sports books I use and then put max odds generally at 200 or 190. But for the sake of this video, because it's about Prize Picks, I put it at minus 110. So what we're going to see right here is, first play, most profitable play for the 6 sports books I have selected is Holiday under 7.5 assists, right? So we know in a 5 or a 6 flex that we're getting roughly minus 119 odds. So I've gone through kind of, based on how Prize Picks pays out, here's their payout structure. They're essentially charging you the implied juice of minus 119. So when you're comparing the lines on Prize Picks to those on the sports books, you should assume in a 5 flex or a 6 flex, we're playing those on Prize Picks again because they're mathematically optimal, you should assume that you're getting minus 119 odds, right? So in the same way, when you're betting on, let's say, FanDuel, we're looking for value at minus 122, right? FanDuel tells us the odds we're betting at. Julius Randle over 3.5 assists is minus 122 odds. So we know the price we're betting at is on Prize Picks. You should assume you're getting minus 119 in a 5 or a 6 flex. And it's pretty clear, looking at the data, looking at the market, that minus 119 is really good value. I mean, Pinnacle Sportsbook, sharpest bookmaker out there, they're pricing this at minus 183, right? So this is 64 cents worse. Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker, has this 64 cents more favored than Prize Picks does. So we're hunting through the market looking for value. And Pinnacle has this at minus 183. BetRivers has this at minus 143. So all the sports books, right, they all have the under heavily favored. And it's not just like there's one sports book with the under favored, right? Pinnacle has the under heavily favored. Bovada, DraftKings, FanDuel, right? You have tons of data points all telling you, hey, Holiday's under for 7.5 assists. The under is much more likely. The under line should be juiced towards the under. So just like an investor looks for value, as a sharp bettor, we found value getting minus 119 in a flex. And then I also took, this play on Plumlee, and then I already bet this play on Washington and this play on Ball. So I won't go over them again, but I can show them. Washington right here, right? Under 5.5, and then Ball under 9.5 assists is right here. So this entry right there on Prize Picks, we're betting at minus 119 odds. And then I ended up finding some positive EV bets on Underdog. So I'd say Underdog Fantasy is a little harder to beat, but the same strategy applies. You got to know how their payouts work, stuff like that. You have to understand, you know, like a lot of people, they start betting on Prize Picks or Underdog. They don't even understand how Underdog or Prize Picks is trying to make money off them. If you don't understand how Prize Picks is making money off the average bettor when they do this and create a 2-pick power play, if you don't understand how Prize Picks is making money charging, you know, or giving you a 3x payout for any 2-pick power play, then you shouldn't be betting on Prize Picks, right? You shouldn't be betting on these books until you understand how they're working, what's mathematically optimal to place, all that type of stuff. Like on Prize Picks, if you're placing 2-pick power plays, you're getting minus 137 odds. You're getting ripped off. Horrible price, right? So it's critical that you first understand, okay, this is how these sports books work. So Brunson over, we want an assist. Again, I don't give a shit about basketball. I literally just care about money. I'm following the data. All the books are pricing this around minus 145. We're getting minus 122 in an Underdog 3-pick or 5-pick entry. That's what's mathematically optimal, so that's what I'm placing. Not 2-pick entries. 2-pick entries suck because you're getting minus 137 odds. And then a lot of the value goes away, right? We want Brunson over 5.5 at minus 122 odds. You know, day traders, investors care about price, right? Everything is about price. Everything is about value. So you have to be looking for value. I mean, no trader, no investor would ever just be like, let me just buy this regardless of the price. But for some reason in sports betting, people are like, odds don't matter. Prices don't matter. Brunson's going over tonight. It's so stupid, right? Everything is about the price and finding value. So here, values on Brunson over 5.5 assists, positive EV play, mathematically profitable play. And then you can see Kyle Anderson under 4.5 assists. So long story short, here's what I ended up going with on Underdog. This 3-pick entry, 3 plays, let's make money.